Hey everybody, this is Chuck Rowe Live once again. One of the favorite online shows we have now. One of the new shows that started is the All Access Panther Show,
Right.
which our friends over at Around the Corner, Eric and Brad and all those guys, they've been doing a great job with it. But this show is going to be the real behind the scenes.
This is the real deal?
Oh yeah, behind the scenes of behind the scenes, behind the scenes. All the questions that nobody is probably wondering. But now something that you may not know is that I played high school basketball. I played for Verona High School.
Okay.
And I guess technically speaking, I actually quit after the first game of every season. So I was on the so I quit. So I'm a quitter. So we have very similar career paths in basketball here. But one thing I do remember, it was the early '90s, and we always had to wear the short shorts.
Okay.
And something I'm sure you remember having to wear.
Yeah,
super
I
short
had
shorts.
the same ones. My first year in college, we had the short shorts. They switched from my freshman year to my sophomore year.
Okay. So you kind of hit the Fab Five phenomenon then a little bit, and so have you ever been tempted to rip out the short shorts in front of your players?
No.
Oh no,
Absolutely
not. It'd be a great surprise if you ordered a bunch of them and then for Arch Madness and said you were going with a retro uniform with the guys. They would probably love that. They would love that. Okay. The other question is a little easier. So, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Okay. Boxers
Every day.
Every day. And new movies coming out at the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't like the new ones as much as the first three.
They are good.
But Star Wars every day over Star Trek.
Yeah. Same here. Boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
Okay. Now, during the summer, if someone were to call you and ask you to do pick up basketball or go fishing, which would you prefer?
Fishing.
Fishing. Okay. How do you like your eggs cooked?
Over hard.
Over hard. How many Jake burgers can you eat in one sitting?
About 3/4 of one.
So for those of you who don't know, the guys over at Whiskey Road are doing a Coach Jake burger, and for every burger that they sell, $1 goes to the Boys and Girls Club. So special thanks to the guys over there. They're great guys, and also to Coach Jake for putting that promotion together and supporting the Boys and Girls Club. Which leads me to ask is, what do you enjoy about supporting the Boys and Girls Club?
Well, it's been a lot of fun for me, an opportunity to spend time with yourself and the others at the club, the others that are on the board, an opportunity to get to know them and see the kind of support that our community has for the Boys and Girls Club. That part of it's been fun for me, but what I've enjoyed most and what I've been most impressed with is how much the club continues to do to improve, always looking and always finding new ways to do more and do more and do more so that the kids have a better opportunity when they do come to the club. And that kind of passion that you show in leading the club, the kind of passion that the board has, I'll be involved in anything when there's people that have that kind of passion. And it's for, so that, as I said, so that the kids that come to the Boys and Girls Club, that they've got a better opportunity, that they enjoy it more, they want to come to the club more, and that for me is what it's about.
Great. Thanks a lot, Coach, for that. And lots of people don't know this, but when Coach gets involved, it's not just him. He shows his support, but then he also gets everyone else behind him as well. And all your other coaches and your players, they've been through the club. Dion was an intern with us.
Yeah, I was going to mention Dion did an internship there this summer, and it was spent a lot of time there and enjoyed it. And I think he learned a lot. But I also feel like he had an impact on some of the kids that were coming through, and so a good opportunity going both ways. But that's important for our guys to understand that giving back to our community in any way, shape, or form that we can is important. It's part of what we do.
You bet. And it's exciting for us because you've had several players come through the Boys and Girls Club to do internships or to volunteer, and a lot of our kids afterwards, they get really pumped up seeing these basketball players, but at the same time they see them as student athletes, and then all the kids then want to go play for UNI someday, and so it's exciting for us to hear that these kids want to go to UNI just because they met your players. So, which leads me to another question though: is what's the most exciting thing about being a Panther?
Oh, I think it would go back to a little bit what I talked about with the Boys and Girls Club. There's tremendous amount of passion in our community for the University of Northern Iowa, and when you can be a part of something like that, and what the guys have done this year has obviously been pretty special. And when you get an opportunity to be around a group of guys that is determined, is willing to sacrifice, do the kinds of things that everyone in our community does on a daily basis as they go through their day and their month and their year and raising their kids and their families. And it's a pretty special deal when you've got young guys that are 18 to 22 years old that are figuring that out. The importance of commitment, and the importance of with this team, sacrifice is a big word for us, because we've got a lot of guys that are very good players, and they've had to give just a little bit so that we can put together a team that can do something special. And that's been a lot of fun.
Sure, and it's obvious that this is a very special team this year. People do some neat things, and but one thing that I think sometimes people get mixed up with, and something that I noticed myself when I watched you over the years, is that the term special team might just mean ranking wise, but it doesn't mean anything as far as how much you love your players. Like, no matter what year you had, no matter what season you had, it seems like you really love your players no matter what.
Yeah, so. Last year Chip Rank and Matt Morrison and Nate Bukite were seniors, and those guys had different roles than what Seth Tuttle and Deion Mitchell and a couple of these guys have on our team. But you said it very well. Chip Rank is just doing a tremendous job. He's down at the University of Iowa in grad school. He's in the health profession, and a tremendous representative of what we want our program to stand for. And some years you're going to win more games than others. Some years you're going to win a championship. Some years you go to the NCAA tournament. And then, some of those years you don't. But it doesn't change what we're doing on a daily basis from an academic standpoint, the way in which our guys represent our program and represent their families. And Chip and Matt and Nate are great examples of that. They aren't going to have all the fanfare of the 5 seniors right now,
sure,
because we are in contention for a championship, and we're going to go to the NCAA tournament. And, but they're no different in terms of how we view them and how we feel about them.
Exactly. Which leads me into this final question: is you have these five seniors that are leaving. Great group of guys, very talented. Like I said, Deion kind of has a special heart with us since since he was at our place. But to talk about succession and replacement a little bit of those guys, I've told you this before, but I actually have 4 years of eligibility left, and I was wondering, would you consider signing me to play on the team?
No.
So
my guess is, Chuck, when you come back next year, and I've told a good friend of mine this, who reminds me all the time that he's got a year of eligibility left. And I said, well, next year when I see you, you're still going to have a year of eligibility left. So when you ask me next year, you're still going to have 4. And then when you ask me the next year, you're still going to have 4. And
yeah, it's just that I'm getting a little older. I just want, I could be a walk-on. I won't even take up a scholarship spot from you.
I'd love to have you on the team.
Or in fact, you don't even need to give me a uniform. I could just wear the warm-up, sit at the end of the bench. Nobody would know. And, it'd be great to be part of, I don't know, just
I'd love to have you be part of the team.
So there you go.
But I'm not going to put you in against Wichita State on Saturday, just so we're clear on that.
Oh, yeah, this year's too late. But next year. So you heard it here first that Chuck Rowe is going to be signed by UNI. So, but seriously, though, thanks a lot for being part of the club, supporting us. Any last words that you might have? Or?
No, it's my privilege to be able to be part of the group and help in any way we can.
So thanks a lot, and support the Boys and Girls Club, and go Panthers.